Like a lot of Blender, lighting and shadows are very complex. And of course, we're not going to learn everything that you can do with lights and shadows. But let's look a little bit more carefully at the types of lights that Blender offers. This is what we have right now. And just as a reminder, we've got two sources of light. One that's directly behind the ball, and it's creating a shadow here. And we have a second light kind of up above us that's casting some light on the entire scene. Just for simplicity's sake, let's get rid of one of these lights. So click on the first lamp and hit delete. Now if we render it, we just see a general picture of a ball and a plane. If we click on this light, and then we go into the shading button, and make sure that the lamp button is clicked, we see the lamp tools. Now we've worked with these before. Remember, we messed around with the intensity and we messed around with the color. But this time we're going to modify the type of lamp that we're using. Area, spot, sun, and hemi are all different types of light sources that you may want to use in your animations. Okay. We've been working with lamps so far. Let's look at what happens when you switch to spot. What spot does is spot creates a lamp that has two different things. This is the direction that the spot is facing, and this is the distance. Now, when you opened it up, your distance was probably much bigger. Probably looks something like this. Let's look at the kind of rendering that this gives us. What we see is that just like in a stage production, our lamp source now is lighting in a much more precise and focused way. It's a spotlight, which is where the name spot comes from. And if we look at where this is hitting, we can sort of tell what it's going to render when it does the picture. Now, two things that we can do. First of all, R rotates this object. In fact, R rotates all objects. We haven't used it yet, but R is a useful tool. So if I click R and then move my cursor around, I can move the direction that the spotlight is facing. So if I do it to here, and then check it in the 7 view, okay, we'll see that it's just going to hit the very corner of the ball. And if I render it, actually it didn't even hit the corner of the ball. But you can see what I'm doing here. It's kind of off the edge of the... And if I wanted to, hitting 1 again, I could rotate it so that it was hitting the ball more directly. Now, why is it hitting the side of the ball? Well, if I go back in the 3 view, I'd have to rotate it. And then if I go back to 7 and 1, now I'll see that in all directions I'm hitting the ball. And if I render it, we see that the ball is right in the center of the spot. So spot is a pretty interesting tool to use. It creates a light source that's much more controllable. So notice all the stuff that's outside of the spotlight isn't going to be included.